The Orange Book: Holiness, Spirit of Offense, and Forgiveness. I already talked about holiness, but it bears repeating and clarification. One of the ways our false teachers have deceived us is by changing or adding to the definition of various words. There are cases where a word's definition has narrowed. I was reading in an old, hard and leather bound Webster's College Dictionary once. Yeah, I know, right? I must have been bored out of my mind. But I came across the word conversation and was surprised to see the last definition listed said it means sexual intercourse. I'd never seen or heard it used in that context, and modern dictionaries don't say that anymore. But that's not what I'm talking about. Take the word pious, for example. If someone were to say to me, "Look at you, all pious and thinking you're a prophet and actually writing Bible," because of that word being used like this in classic literature and other forms of media, most people take it to mean false or fake devotion to God. But if that were true, is impious defined as true devotion? No. So modern usage dictionaries are written purposefully to deceive. Now that brings me back to the word holy. It simply means set apart and nothing more. But our false teachers have led us to believe it means God's unattainable nature and that only God is holy, and so therefore we think holiness is a divine state of being that is impossible for a mere human to achieve. If that were true, then why would God tell us, "Be holy because I am"? Because what he is saying is, set yourself apart from me because I've done the same for you. So early on in my writing, when I said, "Can anyone tell me when being holy started meaning we should be offended?" Well, the answer is when they changed the definition of holiness. If anyone, not just me, sets themselves apart for God, God will clothe them in his righteousness. So that person now stands before God as holy and righteous. I hope this understanding helps anyone who was maybe offended by my name feel less so. So only God has the right to operate in the spirit of offense, not because of his holiness, but because of his righteousness. So yes, it is possible for us to be holy just as God is holy. But all righteousness comes only from God, for he has said, "There is none righteous, no, not one." And God reserves his righteous offense for himself because forgiveness always trumps offense. Moses, being a great man of God, properly struck the rock the first time. But the second time, even though his offense may have been warranted, he paid dearly for overstepping God. When I began this journey, after God said, "Be my witness," he showed me a whole lot of things that had been done to me that were offensive to him. Touch not my anointed, right? So God allowed me to act on it by calling for the TP snake event. It made us all laugh, right? He even put his seal of approval on it, and I have no doubt he would have made it happen for me had I not clearly seen how much I'd been forgiven. When Jesus said, "Take up your cross and follow me," he was saying that even though an offense may be real, we are to walk in a spirit of forgiveness.